Hello my dears, this is Victoria and here is a daily energy check. Welcome. I am still doing my videos from my room in the Big Island in Hawaii, where I'm staying currently. So let's get right into the reading, but I did make it during the day so you guys can see the jungle right behind me, which is gorgeous. So today we're gonna do kind of a classic read, but not quite. I will be using different tarot decks for DF and DM, and for each of the twins we're going to be asking what is happening in the energy and also what is happening in 3D, what kind of action is being taken by each of the twins. At the end we'll get a message from each of the twin for each others. And I'm going to start with an oracle deck. Today is the Whispers of the Ocean. Very appropriate being here, very close to the ocean. Yeah, no, it seems like I'm very 10 right now, but I'm still not, I promise. It's more, I think it's more about the stress that's making it look like that. Anyway, hope you guys are doing great, and please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. So the first card is going to be for Divine Feminine. Let's see. Setting up parameters, number 43. Beautiful card. Assess your relationships and determine how they are aligned with your goals. Setting boundaries requires an honest evaluation of your present relationships. Yeah, so this is about setting healthy boundaries, right? It's not about shutting yourself off. It's not about avoiding conversations and or relationships. It's about making it healthy. It's about remembering that your needs, I wanted to say are important, but they actually should come first for you before other people. And that's not selfish, that's healthy, right? And you know, it's about being able to be honest in those relationships. I don't just mean like being faithful or unfaithful. I mean like actually be able to speak about what's going on with you. What do you want, what you don't want. You know, even if you're feeling upset or angry, be able to talk about that. Even if you know that it's not that the other person has done something wrong, it's something that's going on with you, still being able to pronounce it, to share that, that's important. Or at least if you see that the other person is not in a healthy place, be able to keep that distance and not having like feeling like you owe something to somebody else, right? Avoiding being sucked into the toxic environment. That's what I'm talking about. For the masculines, we've got inner desires, number 16. Interesting that they're both coming to number 7. We're going deep today. Set some intentions. You're entering a phase of plenty or may have a sudden windfall. Goals are within your grasp. Yeah, it's important to have the intention and be specific about it, right? Divine masculines watching. You are going for something. Don't just assume that it's very clear why you're doing what you're doing, right? You need to be specific and clarify it for yourself in your head, first of all. And then if other people are involved, then to them as well. Think about your inner desires and how they align with what is it that you're actually saying and doing in your 3D space. Okay, let's see what's going on. So this deck is going to be for Divine Feminines. This is my spellcaster deck. And let's see what's going on with the energy first of all. Okay, the Devil. Right off the deck. And 7 of Cups. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. And what is happening in 3D? Well, that's the energy space, by the way. What's happening in 3D space for Divine Feminine? It says a new moon in it. We are going to have a new moon on the 21st of January, which is actually just a few days from today, pretty soon. Okay, in the 3D space we have 4 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands and 9 of Cups. Right, bottom of the deck, Queen of Pentacles. Actually, I'm being guided to start my reading as I'm pulling the cards because I'm starting to get some messages, so why don't we just do that? So for the feminines, in the connection, in the energy space, there is a certain, there is a feeling of being pulled in too many directions at once. That's what I'm getting. And Divine Feminine is intuitively feeling that that's because there's still some toxic ties to certain things that they cannot just let go, right? And that's where boundaries are needed, right? Where we feel our obligations and we're tying ourselves to some people, situations, workplaces, could be anything, right? Where deep down we actually know that it's not our place, or it's draining us, and it's not really, it's basically that person, that situation, they're taking advantage of us, right? So this is the time to kind of, with this, the Seven of Cups is actually very interesting in here, and there are a few, wow, I just realized it, there are a few planets here. So on the 21st, when we have the new moon in Aquarius, and it's going to be the very first day of the Aquarius season, we're also going to have, obviously the conjunction between moon and sun. That's the new moon for you. Then there will be Pluto in the mix as well. So there will be very interesting placements of those planets. And what I'm seeing is that you will almost like be pushed towards setting some new intentions for practicing your independence day in, day out, whatever it may mean to you, and probably will be on the level of some habits, some behavioral patterns. So it's going to be very, very specific. And then in the 3D space, I'm kind of seeing the battle for what you want. We're getting this, I'm getting this pattern, this vibe of a wish or a treasure, right? It's like you're claiming your treasure. That's what I'm getting. You're claiming the right to get hold of that treasure. The only thing I would say, this is a good intention, good move, good direction, nothing bad here. The only thing I would mention is that don't become the victim of this, or sorry, don't become this servant in this situation, if you know what I mean. You know, like, don't become the slave to it. There we go. Right? So make sure you are driving it, the process, the path, the outcome, and not the thing is trying to play you, right? The situation, maybe even other people involved, other people who have the treasure and you're trying to get it from them, for example, right? And it could be in real life, it could be like, it can be a client with money and you're trying to get a contract with them for some work, right? So make sure that you're still standing up for yourself, that you're still standing your own, and you are being an equal, you're being treated as an equal partner in those negotiations. It's not like, as soon as you start feeling like you don't have a choice, and that's why you have to go this way and not any other way, that's time to kind of pause it, take a breath, and maybe even slip on it, maybe even walk away from it, right? Whatever seems more appropriate, but do not take further steps under those circumstances. That's what I'm getting. Okay, for masculines, let's see what we have in the energy space. Wow, so many cards. I will actually shuffle some more. There's like 6 or 7 cards in there. It's too many. It was looking pretty good though with the Magician. Justice, love it. Anything else that we need to know here? I think we had Justice just yesterday. 10 of Cups, oh my god. Okay, thank you. What's going on in 3D space in the meantime? the Emperor in reverse. Can you please clarify? Okay. The Chariot, Three of Wands, and the Magician again. Okay. I was hearing the card Chariot, but yeah, it came out now. So for the masculines, it's the big emotional rebalancing. That's what I'm getting. It's also reconsideration of certain stories from the past. Could be from the youth or childhood. Take it how it resonates, but it's almost like justice is being served, I'm hearing, but for a past situation. And it's not necessarily that something will happen necessarily in the present time relevant to that, but it's more about the mindset clarity or shift that will bring some peace to that situation, that will make the cycle complete and will bring love to it. That's the 10 of Cups here that is needed to heal it and to release it, right? It's like almost, and I like actually that in the 10 of Cups in this deck, the adults are like kind of like in the shadow, and then the younger people are dancing in the sunshine. So this is also, to me, it shows like this juxtaposition of past and present. People who are like observing or remembering the past. And yeah, so what I'm getting is that there will be some sort of justification or justice brought to a certain past situation. Of course, it could be that, for example, if it was some unfortunate story with your childhood friend and you meet up these days, current days, or you, I don't know, connect somehow and you remember the story and they give you some more information that makes it clear for you why things turned out that way. But it doesn't have to be, right? This is a very straightforward example. This could even be that masculines will see some similar scenario in a movie, for instance, or read about it in the news or something like that. And they will immediately go back to that situation and it will become clear, it will become more vivid why things happened the way that happened, and will kind of, how do I say it? They will show a broader picture, additional details that were behind the scenes that were not seen back then. It'll be like, yeah, well, you didn't know the whole story, right? What you knew was true, but that was just part of it. And additional information will be revealed. Or at the very least, you will... Sorry, I got mosquitoes here and they like biting me, so... Okay, and for the conscious space, we have the Emperor in reverse, clarified by the Chariot, the Three of Wands, and the Magician. Another new moon, by the way, here. So it looks like new moon is gonna be, this new moon on the 21st is gonna be important time for both of the twins. It's also the time, don't remember the date exactly, but around these days is when Juno and Jupiter meet up, and that happens once in 7 years, so that's a pretty big deal. And those are like the symbols of divine masculine and feminine in astrology. So I'm getting that divine masculines are putting their ego aside. They are trying to think about the bigger picture, and that's where the Aquarius and the Pluto energy are coming into play, right? This is like they're trying to see what is going to be beneficial for everyone involved, or how they can bring some innovation to the situation, right? How this can be something long-term and something where they can help out the community, at least the local community, if not global. This is the big thing, right? I don't see a lot of action here, although we do have a Chariot, but it's in the clouds. So I'm getting that this is more about setting intentions and planning it out, which is actually a very suitable energy for the new moon, right? But this is being specific, like, what can I do today so that tomorrow, you know, read it in a week, in a month, in a year, it can become legacy, or it will be something I'll be proud of. Okay, let's finish up with the message. First of all, from Viktoriia-Gruzdieva. Okay, we have "you heard me, but that's okay, I guess," and "too afraid to talk to you." So right now, my masters do not want to talk. It's more about still some healing is needed. It's more about diving deeper, especially with the 7 that we saw here in the Oracle card. It's more about diving deeper into self, learning more about self. It's like, I know that there is more to it than I know, but in our situation, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. I need more time. Okay, and from the feminine to masculine, we have "I just wish things were different," and "you already know." So the masculines, you know that the feminines love you, that if they could, they would turn things around so that the two of you would be together right away, this instant. But there's a lot more to it, and both of you actually already know that. And that's why we need to keep this ebb and flow. We need to go with what the universe presents to us and with what we are feeling guided to do on a spiritual level, on a soul level. Not necessarily based on our temptations and immediate urges. Okay. Thank you very much. I think I'm gonna finish it here. Pretty deep reading. Watch out for the January 21. I'll probably do a themed special edition reading for that, but it will be probably in a couple of days from now. In the meantime, love you guys, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.